The year was 2015, a year that would forever change the landscape of the automotive industry. It was a time when Volkswagen, a name synonymous with reliability and engineering excellence, found itself at the center of a storm. This wasn't just any storm, it was a tempest of deceit and betrayal that would leave an indelible mark on the company's legacy. Something felt wrong in the offices of Volkswagen. The air was thick with tension, and the usually bustling boardrooms were now filled with hushed whispers and worried glances. Executives who once exuded confidence now wore expressions of concern and uncertainty. The walls seemed to close in as the weight of an impending crisis loomed large. The biggest car maker in the world, a giant company, had a huge problem. Volkswagen, a titan in the automotive world, was facing a challenge that threatened to unravel its very foundation. The assembly lines, which once symbolized efficiency and precision, now seemed like a facade hiding a dark secret. The scale of the problem was staggering and the implications were far-reaching. This wasn't just about money or slow sales, this was much worse. It was a betrayal of trust, of values, and of the very principles that Volkswagen had built its reputation on. The company, which had always prided itself on its commitment to quality and innovation, was now caught in a web of deceit. The empty assembly lines stood as a stark reminder of the gravity of the situation. Millions of cars, sold as good for the environment, were actually quite the opposite. These vehicles, marketed as eco-friendly and efficient, were in reality contributing to environmental degradation. The promise of a greener future was shattered, and the trust of millions of customers was broken. The roads, once filled with prideful Volkswagen owners, now carried the weight of a monumental lie. These cars, symbols of great German engineering, were putting out dangerous fumes, way more than allowed. The emissions, far exceeding legal limits, posed a significant threat to public health and the environment. The very essence of German engineering, known for its precision and excellence, was now tainted. The exhaust fumes, once invisible, now symbolized the toxic truth that lay beneath the surface. This secret plan, carefully hidden for years, was about to be discovered. The news exploded. The revelation sent shockwaves through the industry and beyond. Journalists, who had been chasing the story for months, now had the scoop of a lifetime. The headlines screamed betrayal, and the world watched in disbelief as the details of the scandal unfolded. The carefully constructed facade of Volkswagen's integrity was crumbling. Regulators, with proof they couldn't ignore, showed everyone Volkswagen's trick to cheat on pollution tests. The world was shocked, the evidence was irrefutable, and the scale of the deception was staggering. The documents, meticulously detailed, laid bare the extent of Volkswagen's wrongdoing. The press conference, usually a mundane affair, was now the epicenter of a global scandal. The world watched as the regulators presented their case, and the magnitude of the betrayal became clear. A company known for being reliable and innovative was now caught cheating. The brand, once a symbol of trust and innovation, was now synonymous with deceit. The tarnished signage stood as a testament to the fall from grace. The archival footage, showcasing Volkswagen's proud history of innovation, now seemed like a cruel irony. The company's legacy was in tatters, and the road to redemption seemed long and uncertain. The damage was fast and serious. The financial markets reacted swiftly, and Volkswagen's stock plummeted. The once bustling dealerships were now eerily quiet, with rows of unsold cars gathering dust. The economic impact was severe, and the company's future hung in the balance. The ripple effects of the scandal were felt far and wide, and the road to recovery seemed daunting. Trust, built over many years, vanished overnight. The bond between Volkswagen and its customers was shattered. The empty showrooms and disappointed customers were a stark reminder of the cost of deceit. The trust, painstakingly built over decades, was now gone. The company's reputation, once its greatest asset, was now its biggest liability. The journey to rebuild that trust would be long and arduous. The scandal, called Dieselgate, shook the car industry and beyond. The term Dieselgate became synonymous with corporate greed and deception. The scandal not only rocked the automotive industry but also had far-reaching implications for business ethics and corporate governance. The discussions and debates that followed highlighted the need for greater transparency and accountability. The lessons learned from Dieselgate would resonate for years to come. It was a big lesson about what happens when companies are greedy and dishonest. The fallout from Dieselgate served as a stark reminder of the consequences of corporate malfeasance. It underscored the importance of ethical business practices and the need for companies to prioritize integrity over profit. The scandal also accelerated the shift towards more sustainable and environmentally friendly technologies. The busy modern electric vehicle factories symbolized a new era of innovation and responsibility. The legacy of Dieselgate would be a cautionary tale for future generations, a reminder of the high cost of deceit. To understand how far Volkswagen fell, we need to look at its history. The story of Volkswagen is one of innovation, resilience, and a deep connection with the people. It began in the heart of Germany, a country known for its engineering prowess and meticulous craftsmanship. The company was founded in 1937, and its name, which translates to People's Car, was a promise to make car ownership accessible to the masses. This vision was revolutionary at a time when cars were considered a luxury for the wealthy. Started in Germany, Volkswagen was more than just cars. It was a beacon of hope and progress in a post-war era. The company quickly became a symbol of national pride, representing the strength and ingenuity of the German people. Volkswagen's early advertisements captured the imagination of the public, showcasing a future where everyone could enjoy the freedom and convenience of personal transportation. It was a symbol of national pride. The iconic Volkswagen Beetle, with its distinctive round shape and reliable performance, became a beloved fixture on roads around the world. It wasn't just a car, it was a cultural phenomenon. The Beetle's design was simple yet effective, making it affordable and easy to maintain. This accessibility meant that anyone, regardless of their economic status, could own a car. Its famous Beetle, with its round shape, meant anyone could own a car. The Beetle's popularity soared, and it became a symbol of the 1960s counterculture movement. It was the car of choice for young people seeking adventure and freedom. The Beetle's presence in suburban neighborhoods and scenic roads was a testament to its widespread appeal and versatility. The People's Car, as it was called, made car ownership possible for everyone. It connected people worldwide. The Beetle's success was not just limited to Germany, it became a global phenomenon. People from different cultures and backgrounds embraced the car, making it a unifying symbol of mobility and progress. The Beetle's impact on society was profound, as it democratized car ownership and brought people closer together. Generations grew up with Volkswagen, thinking of it as good quality and dependable. The brand's reputation for reliability and durability was built over decades of consistent performance. Families trusted Volkswagen cars to be safe and dependable, passing them down from one generation to the next. The emotional connection people had with their Volkswagens was a testament to the brand's enduring legacy. The company's success was huge. Volkswagen's factories were bustling with activity, producing millions of cars that were shipped to every corner of the globe. The company's growth was exponential, and it became one of the largest automakers in the world. Volkswagen's success was not just measured in sales figures but also in the positive impact it had on people's lives. It showed off German engineering and helped Germany's economy grow. The company's achievements were a source of national pride, showcasing the best of German engineering and innovation. Volkswagen played a crucial role in the post-war economic recovery of Germany, providing jobs and contributing to the country's industrial strength. The company's success was a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of the German people. Volkswagen was even famous in movies and TV. The Beetle's iconic design made it a favorite in popular culture, appearing in countless movies and TV shows. From the lovable Herbie in the Love Bug series to the quirky cars in Transformers, Volkswagen's presence in entertainment further cemented its status as a cultural icon. The brand's association with fun and adventure made it a beloved part of many people's lives. From Herbie the Love Bug to the cool Volkswagen van, the brand meant freedom and adventure. The Volkswagen van, with its spacious interior and distinctive design, became synonymous with road trips and exploration. It was the vehicle of choice for those seeking to escape the mundane and embrace the open road. The van's versatility and charm made it a symbol of freedom and adventure, capturing the spirit of an entire generation. But Dieselgate threatened to erase all of this. The emissions scandal, known as Dieselgate, was a shocking revelation that shook the automotive industry to its core. Volkswagen was found to have installed software in their diesel engines to cheat emissions tests, deceiving regulators and customers alike. The scandal was a massive blow to the company's reputation, casting a shadow over its storied history. The company's good image was ruined. The fallout from Dieselgate was swift and severe. Volkswagen faced billions of dollars in fines and legal settlements, and its executives were subjected to intense scrutiny and legal action. The public's trust in the brand was shattered, and the company's once sterling reputation was left in tatters. The scandal was a stark reminder of the consequences of corporate greed and deception. The world watched, wondering what Volkswagen would do. The scandal was a turning point for the company, and the world was eager to see how Volkswagen would respond. Would it be able to regain the trust of its customers and stakeholders? The company's actions in the wake of the scandal would determine its future and its place in the automotive industry. The pressure was on for Volkswagen to make amends and prove that it could be a responsible and ethical company. Could a company that had lied so much ever be trusted again? The road to redemption was long and arduous. Volkswagen had to implement sweeping changes to its corporate culture and practices to rebuild its reputation. The company committed to transparency and accountability, taking steps to ensure that such a scandal would never happen again. The question remained, would these efforts be enough to restore the public's faith in the brand? The answer would decide not just Volkswagen's future, but the future of the car industry. Volkswagen's response to the Dieselgate scandal would have far-reaching implications for the entire automotive industry. The company's shift towards electric vehicles and sustainable practices signaled a new direction for the brand. As Volkswagen embraced innovation and sustainability, it aimed to lead the industry into a cleaner, greener future. The legacy of Volkswagen would be defined not by its past mistakes, but by its ability to adapt and evolve in the face of adversity. At the center of Dieselgate was a clever computer program. This wasn't just any ordinary software, it was a sophisticated piece of code designed to deceive. Engineers and programmers worked meticulously to create a system that could outsmart the very tests meant to protect our environment. The program was embedded deep within the car's electronic control unit, making it almost impossible to detect without thorough investigation. It was a masterstroke of deception, hidden in plain sight, and it took years before anyone even suspected its existence. This program, hidden in millions of diesel cars, knew when a car was being tested for pollution. It was designed to recognize the specific conditions of an emissions test, such as the position of the steering wheel, the speed of the car, and the duration of the test. Once these conditions were met, the program would activate a special mode that reduced the car's emissions to legal levels. This mode was never used during normal driving conditions, ensuring that the car would pass the test with flying colors, while continuing to pollute excessively on the road. During these tests, the program made the car seem clean, hiding the real pollution. The emissions testing equipment would show readings well within the legal limits, giving the impression that the car was environmentally friendly. Technicians, unaware of the deceit, would record these results and certify the car as compliant with emissions standards. This false sense of security allowed millions of these cars to be sold worldwide, each one a ticking time bomb of pollution. But when the car was driven normally, the program stopped working. The emissions control systems would deactivate, and the car would emit pollutants at levels far exceeding legal limits. This meant that on the open road, these cars were contributing significantly to air pollution, with nitrogen oxide emissions up to 40 times higher than allowed. The impact on the environment and public health was enormous, with increased respiratory problems and environmental degradation. The result? These supposedly clean cars polluted up to 40 times more than allowed. The discrepancy between the test results and real-world emissions was staggering. Environmental agencies and researchers were baffled by the sudden spike in pollution levels, unable to pinpoint the source. It wasn't until independent researchers conducted their own tests that the truth began to emerge. The visual comparison of emissions test results versus real driving conditions painted a stark picture of the deception. The trickery was huge and shocking. When the scandal finally broke, it sent shockwaves through the automotive industry and beyond. News conferences were held, and the public was stunned by the scale of the deceit. The revelation that a trusted car manufacturer had deliberately cheated emissions tests to sell more cars was a betrayal of trust on an unprecedented scale. The faces of bystanders and reporters captured the collective disbelief and outrage. The secret came out when researchers, checking pollution numbers, found Volkswagen's lies. These researchers, driven by a commitment to uncover the truth, meticulously analyzed emissions data and conducted their own tests. Their findings were irrefutable. Volkswagen had installed defeat devices in their cars to cheat emissions tests. The scientists' dedication and perseverance were instrumental in bringing the scandal to light, highlighting the importance of independent research and oversight. They told the government and everyone else, showing how Volkswagen cheated all over the world. The researchers' findings were presented to government officials, who were left with no choice but to take action. Public protests erupted as people demanded accountability and justice. The scale of the scandal was global, with millions of affected cars sold in various countries. The coordinated efforts of researchers, government officials, and the public were crucial in exposing the full extent of Volkswagen's deceit. Volkswagen, at first denying everything, had to admit they were wrong. Initially, Volkswagen executives vehemently denied any wrongdoing, attempting to downplay the severity of the allegations. However, as more evidence surfaced and the pressure mounted, they were forced to come clean. The admission of guilt was a significant turning point, marking the beginning of a long and arduous journey towards accountability and restitution. The punishment was fast and hard. Governments and regulatory bodies around the world acted swiftly to impose penalties on Volkswagen. The company faced hefty fines, legal settlements, and mandatory recalls of affected vehicles. The courtroom scenes, with judges delivering verdicts and news headlines announcing the punishments, underscored the gravity of the situation. The swift and decisive actions taken by authorities sent a clear message that such deceit would not be tolerated. They lost billions of dollars. The financial impact on Volkswagen was devastating. The company's stock plummeted, wiping out billions of dollars in market value. Production lines ground to a halt as the company scrambled to address the fallout. The economic repercussions extended beyond Volkswagen, affecting suppliers, dealers, and the broader automotive industry. The scandal served as a stark reminder of the potential consequences of corporate malfeasance. Police started investigations in many countries. Law enforcement agencies around the world launched investigations into Volkswagen's practices. Offices were raided, documents were seized, and executives were questioned. The coordinated efforts of international authorities highlighted the global nature of the scandal and the need for cross-border cooperation in addressing corporate wrongdoing. Volkswagen faced many lawsuits from car owners, investors, and governments. The legal battles were extensive and multifaceted. Car owners filed class-action lawsuits, seeking compensation for the diminished value of their vehicles. Investors sued for the financial losses they incurred due to the scandal. Governments sought reparations for the environmental damage caused by the excessive emissions. The courtroom scenes, with lawyers and plaintiffs presenting their cases, illustrated the widespread demand for justice. The scandal rocked the car industry, making people question if companies could be trusted and if the rules were strong enough. The Dieselgate scandal had far-reaching implications for the automotive industry and beyond. It prompted a re-evaluation of regulatory frameworks and the effectiveness of emissions testing. Consumers began to question the trustworthiness of car manufacturers and the integrity of corporate practices. The rows of new cars in dealerships and news anchors discussing corporate trust underscored the lasting impact of the scandal on public perception and industry standards. After Dieselgate, everything was a mess. Volkswagen's boss quit, taking the blame for the scandal. The once powerful car company was lost and confused. People didn't trust them anymore. The scandal cost billions in fines, lawsuits, and fixing cars. The company's good name was gone, but in all the trouble, a little bit of hope appeared. Volkswagen, understanding how bad things were, decided to change. They admitted their mistakes and promised to help with the investigations. They vowed to fix things, not just by paying money but by changing how they worked and built their cars. This was a big change for Volkswagen. Facing a huge crisis, they had a choice: stay stuck in the past or start fresh. Volkswagen chose a new path. This new path would be about honesty, protecting the environment, and earning back the trust of their customers and the world.